Today it is International Women's Day, so happy International Women's Day. So for this special occasion, I'm going to be doing a list for my top 5 most inspiring women. So these aren't like my favourite celebrities or anything, they're just women who I think are very inspiring and should definitely be celebrated. But first, happy International Women's Day. Anyone who wants to post their top 5 in the comments below, you are very, very welcome to. So, now we're going to start. At number 5, we have Emily Davidson. So, Emily Davidson was one of the suffragettes, and if you don't already know, they were around in the early 1900s and the late 1800s, and they're a group of women who basically made women able to vote, and they did all sorts of things. They signed petitions, they put up posters everywhere, and sometimes they even chained themselves to walls and didn't eat for days and days so that women would be able to vote. So Emily Davidson is a particular suffragette, and she's very famous because she actually, to make women be able to vote, she, in the middle of a race, jumped underneath the king's horse, and there's actually a photo of her doing it, which I'll insert. So yeah, that's Emily Davidson. By the way, when she jumped onto the horse, she died, so that's quite sad. But she was actually trying to pin a poster on it saying "Votes for Women." So next up, in 4th place, we have Taylor Swift. She is my favourite singer, but, oh, that's my cat. There she is. She is my favourite singer, but that is not the reason she's on the list. I think Taylor Swift is very inspiring because, like, all her music, it's like it's speaking to you. So, yeah, it's nice to listen to, but it's like all the words in it is like a story. And she's just very inspiring that she's like doing all this music, and from such a young age too. She started, I think, when she was in her teenage years, like, I'm not quite sure, but at a very young age. That's Taylor Swift at number 4. And number 3, a less well-known person, but still deserves all the glory, Vanessa Mae. So you might not have heard of her. She's less known, but she's quite famous. Vanessa Mae is a violinist, and I just think that she's a very inspiring woman. She does all sorts of amazing violin concerts, and she's got really, really gorgeous music. So if you have never heard of her, search up Vanessa Mae on the internet and listen to some of her songs. They're gorgeous, and they're actually really amazing. If you don't like listening to violins and stuff normally, like me, because you think it's all like boring and classical, she does not do boring and classical. She does really exciting songs. Hi, I just paused the video. If you heard like a beep just then, that is Florence, who you've met on this channel before, messaging me. So she's going to join and she's going to tell you her top 5 too. But you can remember that before I was just talking about Vanessa Mae at number 3. I think I covered all for her. So that's number 3. Okay, sorry if you hear any more things. Number 2 is Rosa Parks. She had to be on this list. Rosa Parks had to be on this list. You cannot do this list without Rosa Parks. That's her again. Not Rosa Parks, Flo. I'm just going to check that, then I'll pause this. Okay, so I was talking about Rosa Parks. You should definitely know who Rosa Parks is, but if you didn't, then Rosa Parks basically was a black woman in about the 1920s, 40s, I'm not really sure, but you know, the early 1900s, where in buses there were like a section for white people and a section for black people, and it was really unfair because if a another white person came on the bus when all the white rows were filled, then the black row moved back and you had to stand up and give your seat away, and that was really just not good. So Rosa Parks, when she was asked to give up her seat for a white man, she refused and she got put in prison for it, but it's really an inspiring story. So that's why I like Rosa Parks. Number 1, Emmeline Pankhurst. You seriously have to know who she is, but if you don't, Emmeline Pankhurst is the leader of the suffragettes. I talked about the suffragettes already. She was the leader of the suffragettes for the longest time, and she put up loads of posters and signs everywhere saying quotes women, and she did all sorts of things, and she's a very inspiring woman. Number 1, Emmeline Pankhurst. You seriously have to know who she is, but if you don't, Emmeline Pankhurst is the leader of the suffragettes. I talked about the suffragettes already. She was the leader of the suffragettes for the longest time, and she put up loads of posters and signs everywhere saying quotes women, and she did all sorts of things, and she's a very inspiring woman. Okay, here is Florence's list, if you were waiting for that. She wanted me to read them out to you because she cannot. She's at her house and video call sounds a bit glitchy sometimes. So, number 5 of Florence's list is Nicki Minaj. I do not know why, but I think Nicki Minaj is a singer. So she probably thought Nicki Minaj had quite inspiring music. Number 4 on her list, by the way, I've got these all written down so I know what to say. Number 4 is Jessica Alba. I think Jessica Alba is also a singer, I think. So again, inspiring music, I guess. 3, Jessie J. I know who Jessie J is. So another inspiring singer for Florence. Number 2, Emma Watson. I really love Emma Watson. Emma Watson is definitely my second favourite celebrity, but not my favourite, inspiring women. So number 2 is Emma Watson on Florence's list. I think Emma Watson is quite an inspiring actress. She'd probably be about 7 on my list. And number 1, Florence said Ariana Grande. I do not get this at all. She is inspiring, but Ariana Grande is Florence's favourite singer, so that's probably why. Anyway, yes, Ariana Grande, inspiring music for Florence, that's why she put her on her list. So that was Florence's list. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. Bye! And happy International Women's Day!